Hey guys, and welcome back for another video with me, Robbie-Racing. Yes, I'm from the UK. I'm not from the other side of the pond. I'm also not from Australia. I do that, I do get that a lot. So this setup here is not actually the one I actually ran in my league race. I've made some changes since. It didn't do very well in the race. It sort of fell off quite quick. So I made some changes and picked up the pace of the car. At the beginning of the run, I'm now hitting the 30.0. If you are looking for the 29s, feel free to bunk up the tyres to about 48 psi on the right hand side, but I tend to keep mine where the centre of the tyre is 245 degrees on the right rear. Sometimes I go a little bit over, it depends on my exit on the corner plus my entry. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to do 10 laps in this car so we can get a feel for it, and then you guys can see what the tyre wear and whatnot is like. So let's bring up the diagram.
Alright, dig.
Bring it straight up on the track here. Yeah, that's the tricky bit there, coming out of turn 2. It's quite tricky for a lot of people. Normally they have their right track bar too high. But yeah, let's put some laps in and see how we get on. Get this wide line here, get a big run up. I'm also going to flat foot it for most of these 10 laps as well. There you go, 30.0 right out the gate. Had a bit of a low entry there, I should have let off mid-corner, but we're just going to stay in it. 30.0. You see, it's alright getting the fast lap time at the beginning, but it's no good doing 1 to 3 laps and then just saying yes, the car's ready. It's best to run it for about 7-10 laps, look at your tyre wear and make sure you test it thoroughly. I mean, because I could have got a 29.9 or 30.0 at the beginning and said, oh yeah, I'm ready, but then towards the end of the run the car could just fall apart because I haven't checked to see what it's like on a long run, which can be key for a lot of league races. Keeping on the tyre wear. Tracks like this, you either want it even or you want to try and get the right front to wear first, and then it should catch back up later on in the run. It all depends on your line. I mean, some of these laps are going to be a little bit sloppy because I am sitting here talking and I don't have 100% concentration on the track. But so at the beginning of the run, 30.0, messed up that corner there. Then we sort of want to look at mid-run, lap 5, 30.5. Because I had the lower entry there, make sure you check up in the corner. .6, so a nice slow pull off. Nice temperature as well, 248. You don't really want to go over 250. Once you start going over 250 on the temperature of the car, car starts to lose a bit of power. So 246 at the lowest, and I'd say 249, 250 itself at the highest, because towards the end of the run your car will sort of start to slow down, and the oil temp will start to cool down a little bit as well. So if you are running a 250, don't worry about it too much, because coming towards the end of the run, you know, the oil temp's going to be there at about 246. How many laps have we done? We'll do 2 more. So 68 on the right front, 72 on the right rear. Right, so here's what I'm going to do now. This next lap, I'm going to actually run the high side. Now, at Chicagoland, the high side on turn 2 can be quite tricky. There's also a glitch here on turn 4, be careful of that. There it is. That can cause you to spin out. Alright, high line. So we've got somebody inside of us. This will sort of be the approach we take. I'm going to stay in it and see what the car does. So nice and steady. And I believe a lot of it, not only because I'm on a wheel, but because we've got the right front wearing more than the right rear. If the right rear is going first, then the car is just going to be too loose. Right, now we're going to do a bottom line approach, saying we're going to go under somebody. So I'm going to go in here, let off, let it float, accelerate, still got to stay at the bottom, bring it down, make sure you're leaving plenty of room on that side there. I'm going to do another low approach here. Careful of the apron. And then straighten up, because it'll slide a little bit on the inside of turn 4 there. Put one more lap in so we know what time we're getting at the end, roughly at the end. I mean, still got 19 laps of fuel, but I'm not going to sit here and make you guys watch me for a whole fuel run. If you do like this video, guys, don't forget to help me out, subscribe, share the videos. If anybody asks where you got your setup from, just, you know, let them know where you got it from. If you've made any changes to the car itself, you probably will do, because when you're on like a G29, I'm on a T150, but G29 and a controller, you'll need to adjust a few things like the springs, trap bars and your wheel lock as well. Okay. So 31.0, not bad, not bad. Okay, right, let's go to the garage to have a look. So before we do that, test results. 30.0 at the beginning. I did get a 30.070, I do believe, earlier. But you just have to hit your marks. So we got a 2, a 3, a 5, which should have been a 4, but I made a mistake. A 6, it should have been a 5. And then it should, like, another 6 should have been another 6. And then obviously we did the high line on the last few laps. Go over here. Right, so here it is. One of the things I changed, I could hear the car sort of bogging down in the center corner, so I brought up the left spring, and that sort of helped the rotation in the middle of the corner. And then it was getting too tight on exit and bogging it down again, so I brought up the right spring. Left track bar I went up on to give me a better entry. I left the right one where it was, and I brought the wheel lock down to a 2, so I don't have to turn too much. For controller guys, I would recommend a 6 to an 8. G29, I would say a 4 to a 6. T150, oh well, I've got mine on 2, so 2 or 4 for a lot of the tracks that I use. So let me just explain something for those that won't know. Say I went up and gave myself more RPMs in the 3rd gear. There's a fuel saving gear in here, by the way. You'll be able to save a bit of fuel and tyre. A lot of people call it Robbie gear. So anyway, if we went to a 291, we'd have more RPMs, so therefore the oil temperature would get hotter. So we'd have to make sure we'd go down on the grill tape, bring it down to a 45. If it's still going over 250, bring it down to 40. So that's definitely something to remember. Put that back where it was. So there you go, guys. That's my setup for Chicagoland that I'm going to be using for future league races. Like I said, subscribe, like, share, all that sort of cool stuff. I'm also on social media, both Facebook and Twitter. I'm in the middle of sorting my Instagram out today. But thank you very much for watching. Any changes you make, any feedback, let me know. And any questions you have, don't be afraid to get in touch. Take it easy.